So first off, we meet our guy named Shadow. Yeah, that's his actual name. He was a legendary warrior, you know, undefeated, braggadocious, all that. Until one day, he finds these ancient gates of shadows, and seeking a worthy opponent, he opens them. But that's a bad idea, cause now some demons get unleashed, and as a punishment, bro loses his entire body, literally becoming a shadow, as the name implies, you know, shadow fight. Now he's fighting through the underworld to take down 6 demons, Lynx, Hermit, Butcher, Wasp, Widow, and Shogun, all to fix what he broke. And at the end of Shadow Fight 2, he seals the gates, regains his body, and it's over. But except not really, because in Shadow Fight 3, Shadow and his ventures are more of a myth now. The game takes place in a different timeline from Shadow Fight 2, but at the same time, some elements do eventually cross over, as we'll see later. You play as a customizable warrior caught between 3 factions, Legion, Dynasty, and Heralds. Now everyone's fighting over this power called Shadow Energy, you know, the same stuff that destroyed everything before. Different groups of people have different intentions for it. For example, the Dynasty wants to use it for their own advantage, while the Legion wants to destroy it. You can see how something like that could cause a war to happen. Anyways, there's also a new threat, the Shadow Mind, which is an evil force trying to manipulate everyone. Now here comes the twist. Well, potential spoiler alert, I guess, but the Shadow Mind is basically what's left of Shadow himself. Well, I should say the dark essence of Shadow that splits off when he sealed the gates in Shadow Fight 2. You eventually face him, and depending on your choices, you either destroy the Shadow Mind or you seal him again. Now here's where things get kinda complicated. You see, Shadow Fight 4 Arena takes place in a destroyed alternate timeline where the Shadow Mind has taken complete control of everything. He reshaped the world, and Shadow energy now just flows freely everywhere. You play as a team of warriors with their own backstories and motivations. Some of them are remnants of the old world, while others are products of this new shadow-infused world. The Shadow Mind is basically challenging you in his little playground to see whether you're worthy or not. Now we take a few steps back into our main world and a couple stories back with the game Shadow Fight Shades, which takes place between Shadow Fight 2 and 3. Now, why was this game released after 4? Who knows? But basically, in this game, the gates collapsed from 2, caused something called shadow rifts to appear everywhere, which leaked unstable amounts of shadow energy into the world. So Shadow, who is now powerless, has to go investigate these rifts, though he does later on gain some unique abilities to help him in his journey. After this, the story of Shadow Fight 3 and 4 takes place. So for a quick recap of everything in order, Shadow Fight 2. Shadow opens the gates, loses his body, fights demons, and defeats Titan, the big bad guy. Shades. Shadow closes the gate, but the rifts open which break the world. He fights to deal with the leftover chaos, and yeah. Shadow Fight 3. Shadow energy exists in a new separate world, and the Legion, Heralds, and Dynasty fight over it. Shadow Fight 4 Arena. The Shadow Mind wins in a different timeline, which creates a new world of endless battle. And that is currently where we are in the lore of Shadow Fight. Hopefully the lore gets more streamlined from here on, but I hope I did a good enough job of putting together this complicated mess into a somewhat simplified and easier to tell version. But that's it, and let me know what other mobile games lore I should explain, and yeah, goodbye. Remember to subscribe to the main channel if you want more news about mobile game stuff. Okay, bye bye.